They say we make our first impression in just 7 seconds. And if it's a good one, it can lead to a job, an opportunity, or even a date. Well, I've made my first impression. Was it a good one? But if not, it can take up to 12 more positive experiences to take away that first negative impression. Anybody here ever wanted to take away their first 7 seconds? It could be something they posted on Facebook or Instagram, or something we said to our parents or our friends. Anyone here? Yeah. I don't think you could be on the planet today if that hadn't happened to you at some stage. So why does it take only 7 seconds to make that first impression? Well, research is showing us that in the year 2000, we could hold a thought for 12 seconds. But now, in the year 2017, we're only holding a thought for 7 seconds. And they say even a goldfish can hold a thought for longer. And social scientists are saying it's due to our smartphones. Anyone here got a smartphone? Fabulous. What I would love you to do is to all stand up. Woo! Okay. I only have 12 minutes with you, so if you turn that phone to flight mode and don't disrupt yourself, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Are you ready? Because they say the more that we use our phones, the less we remember. Yes, no, what was the question? Oh look, there's a bird. Kidding. Okay, so we've only got 7 seconds to make a great first impression, and what I would like you to do now that your phones are out, is to shake hands and say, welcome to my first impression. Woo! Hey, hey, hey. Awesome. So you know you've got the power of your first impression. And that wasn't too bad a first impression, so would you all like to take a seat? Does anyone here think they've got a really good handshake? Oh, my arm. Okay, fantastic. Table 21, would you like to come down and join me here for a moment? Because what we're going to do live on stage is hack the meet and greet. So let's all put our hands together for a big warm welcome to my very first victim. Sorry, I meant volunteer. So what was your name?
Ollie. Ollie.
It's Ollie. Everyone knows Ollie today, don't they? All right, Ollie, what I would like you to do is just step back a little bit. And I'm Ollie's $1 million customer. I'm going to employ Ollie, give him the best job in the world and pay him $1 million, right? So Ollie, I would like you to come up to me and just shake hands. Fabulous. Thank you, Ollie. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Good.
Nervous?
No.
Okay, that's good. All right, so Ollie, can I make a couple of adjustments?
Yeah.
Yes, and for those that can see, I want you to have a close look at our body positions right now. Fabulous, Ollie's made a few moments. You might see that my arm's a little bit stretched, which also means my body's being twisted a little bit to the side. And Ollie could probably walk straight past me right now. So we want to make a better connection. You ready to have a look? Okay, who can't see? Everyone's okay? Fantastic. All right, Ollie. The first thing we're going to do is to make sure when you go that first impression that your head is in line with the other person. So see when we tilt our head to the side? It's showing our ear, which is fabulous, but we're much more professional and open when our head's straight. So just that little tweak. All right, Ollie, so let's stay about 3 feet apart. And we've got a good, nice, straight head look. Fantastic. The next thing we want to do is to make sure our shoulders match. Because if my shoulders were twisted to the side, what does that make you feel about me?
That you're looking that way.
Yeah, that I kind of want to go that way, right? And even if our head and shoulders are straight, but our feet are this way, how does that make you feel?
Like you're about to walk that way.
Yeah, so we want to be in alignment, head, shoulders and hips when we come in for that meet and greet. Okay, so we are head, shoulders and hips now. Feeling okay? Let's do it again. Okay, fabulous. Thank you. Now, this is a great handshake because Ollie has actually touched webs with me. I've just got to get his shirt out of it. Okay, so this is a really important move when you shake hands and you're meeting someone, is to make sure your webs touch. When your webs touch, you've made a connection. A lot of people go into handshake and they do this. If someone does that to you, it just means you have to build relationships by more talking, make sure you make great eye contact and smile. Okay? So this is an excellent handshake. There are so many more tips I can give you, but right now, for today, our head, our shoulders, our hips, and big smiles and making sure those webs touch are really important. So let's find out a bit more, and a big round of applause, and thank you for coming up, Ollie. I hope you win lots of prizes. Oh, we have a lovely heart up here. Malfunction? Okay, so why is the handshake so important? You've probably seen it all around the news and politicians. And in Australia, when we even have a look at our prime ministers, we had John Howard going in for a handshake, and he was meeting Mark Latham. Mark Latham at this stage was rating 80% in the polls. He was going to get in. So John Howard came to meet and greet him, and Mark Latham came out, stood over him, grabbed his hand, and pulled him backwards and forwards. Well, the Australian people didn't like it. He appeared aggressive and a bully, and he didn't get in. So handshakes are so important, much more important than we realise. It's our first impression. And remember, your first impression is on your resume. It's on your LinkedIn profile, it's on your Facebook, it's on your Instagram. And believe me, that everyone is looking at that. So when you go for a job, make sure that you make these things private, or you open them up and put on professional posts, because that's really going to help you with your first impression. I've got a couple of little cool videos to show you, so hopefully that we will get those out to you before the end. This year we've won international awards for our sales and leadership programs, and everything you're learning today is through self-leadership. It's around the way we communicate to ourselves. And like we were talking about bullying before, the biggest bullies that you have on the planet is yourself. What are you telling yourself each day? So when I'm working overseas and I'm working throughout Australia, what we've discovered is behaviour styles worldwide are exactly the same. So we have our dominant people, we have our influential people that love to get on stage and make a lot of noise. We have our shy people, our quiet people. And then we have our people that love the facts and figures and what's happening in life. And we've developed the conscious connection framework, looking at our body language, looking at our mindset, and being conscious about our thoughts and our actions. And then looking at our behaviours to create a level playing for win-win situations. So with body language, it's very subjective. It's never the one thing that we look at. So for instance, if I was rubbing my eye right now, what would you think? That I was tired. What else? Not interested. Sore eye. So there's lots of different things, but in actual fact, maybe I'm looking at something that I don't want to see. So our body language gives away so much about us. What about if your parents ask you a question and you start to go, what is the message you're sending? Yeah, you don't really know, it's giving me pain in my neck. And what happens when we cover our mouth when someone asks us a question? Yeah, maybe I'm keeping a lie, maybe I'm keeping in an untruth. Maybe I've just had coffee and I've got coffee breath, or maybe I've got bad teeth. There's lots of reasons we do it, but just be aware when you're going into that meeting, when you're speaking to your teachers, when you're speaking with friends, start to become more conscious of what your body is saying. And as we just heard, when we put our shoulders back and we put our head up and we make that fabulous eye contact, It can absolutely change our meeting. It can change the outcomes. Because worldwide, this is what we've discovered. So we're now working with thousands of students in India, doing the exact same thing with mindset and with communication. We're working here on the Sunshine Coast with body language for our Year 12 students, stepping out into the big world. And we're doing wraparound courses for MBA programs. So from today, take these little skills and make those tiny tweaks. I'd like you to cross your arms right now, because in body language, when we cross our arms, it's not so comfortable, is it? But for some of us, it is. Maybe it means you're cold. Maybe you don't have arms on your chest. But what I'd like you to do now is cross your arms the other way. So whatever arm was on top, cross it the other way. That's not always easy to do, is it? And change isn't comfortable. And making these little changes each day in our lives starts to then make it a comfortable experience. So I'd like you to go back to crossing your arms the first way. Okay? And hands up if your right arm's on top. Okay, so they say you're the passionate ones. You'll jump in first and think about something later. Now let's look who had their left arms on top. Okay, so you might think about it a little bit first before you go in. But who knows if it's right or wrong. But once again, it's just starting to make us think about who we are and what we do. And I'd really love you to take away from this today, going forward, being just that little bit more conscious about your body language, about what your body is saying before you meet and greet. So let's jump up. Let's see if we can improve those first handshakes. Find 3 people, have a handshake and have a high five and say, "You've got the power, you're amazing."